If someone does this, then they truly hate you very much. They are deliberately hurting you. Carl Jung. What I'm about to tell you will completely change the way you view every experience of betrayal. Jung once revealed a terrible truth about human nature, and by the end you will understand why some people seem born to destroy you. If someone is intentionally hurting you, listen carefully. This is not a misunderstanding. This is not weakness. From Jung's perspective, this is their shadow personality, the dark side of the person, making a calculated choice. When the shadow acts with intent, it exposes a chilling fact. They don't just dislike you. They have psychologically erased your existence as a human being. But what is truly shocking is that Jung discovered something most people will never realize, and it will astonish you. Contempt is one of the most dangerous psychological states because it does not merely create distance between people. It provides moral justification for cruelty. When a person enters a state of contempt, as Jung observed, they have completed what he called the process of dehumanization. In their inner structure, you're no longer a person, but an object that deserves punishment. Jung said that human psychology cannot carry out intentional harm without first constructing complex rationalizations. The shadow does not act blindly. It builds an entire narrative. They deserve it. They're too weak. It's their own fault. And the truly terrifying thing is that Jung revealed these inner scripts are not offhand. They are psychological weapons carefully forged before the blow is struck. Jung's discovery of this process is enough to make you reassess everyone around you. He considered contempt the shadow's highest, most covert tool, because it does not always look like hatred. The shadow can wear many masks: passive aggression, feigned concern, meticulously designed silence. The one destroying you may still be smiling at you, but Jung warned, when words lie, actions will expose the shadow's true intent. Jung also found that manipulation is one of the shadow's most commonly used and most dangerous methods. It is the most calculating form of betrayal in the shadow, because it requires what Jung called instrumental thinking, treating others as objects to be used rather than as people worthy of respect. But Jung believed the most disturbing thing about manipulative personalities is that they do not merely deceive you, they study you. Jung pointed out that manipulators engage in what he called shadow projection. They observe your vulnerabilities not to understand you, but to turn your psyche into a weapon against you. Jung found that manipulation often follows a predictable pattern. At first, a subtle distortion of reality to probe your boundaries. If you do not resist, the manipulator progresses to systematic erosion of your sense of self until you begin to doubt your sanity. According to Jung, this is no accident. It is the shadow operating at its most mature, most precise form of control. But the truly hair-raising discovery comes next, and it may be the most important point you hear today. Jung found that when a person truly harbors malice, they instinctively attack what he called your core schema, the psychological structures that give your life meaning. They do not strike at random, Jung said. They aim directly at what is most real in you, because the shadow understands that emotional precision inflicts the greatest destruction. Jung observed a terrifying fact. This precise attack often comes from the people who know you best, which is why it is all the more dangerous. In Jung's view, strangers can hurt you, but only those who truly know you can systematically dismantle you. They know your values, your fears, your dreams. Jung called it a privilege, dismantling the shadow and treating intimate knowledge as ammunition. If you value loyalty, they betray you. If you're truly honest, they deceive you with lies. If you cherish reputation, they destroy it bit by bit. Jung also found that after causing harm, truly malicious people engage in what he called reality manipulation, a systematic distortion of your perception of the world. More insidiously, perpetrators gain what Jung called a double victory. First, they inflict harm. Second, they make you feel guilty for noticing the harm. Jung pointed out that gaslighting is not merely deception, but a psychological war aimed at making you doubt your sanity. According to Jung's analysis, guilt becomes an invisible chain. You suppress anger, avoid speaking up, and begin to wonder if you're too sensitive. Jung warned that this confusion is deliberately manufactured. It protects the perpetrator's self while keeping you in long-term emotional imbalance. But the next discovery will completely upend your understanding. Why do toxic people keep reappearing? Jung observed that hatred is not satisfied with hurting you once. It wants you to remain broken. In Jung's view, your healing is their greatest threat because your recovery proves their attacks have failed. When you start to improve, you shatter their narrative of you as weak. Jung also found that hatred relies on control, and your healing is the ultimate rebellion against that control. There's one more crucial twist. Jung noted that those who live in the shadow of hatred often reappear when you begin to heal, disguised as concern, reconciliation, or kindness. But he warned that these are not true repairs. They're strategies to rip open wounds again and reclaim psychological dominance. So how did Jung think we should respond to his wisdom in a life-changing way? Jung found the most powerful response is not revenge, but what he called a conscious response. When you reply with clarity and authenticity, rather than being led by emotion, you break the cycle of shadow projection and refuse to become the one who harmed you. Jung said truth does not need theatrics to exert power. A steady, honest response is more impactful than an explosive outburst, because truth is harder to refute. It lingers, reveals, and lets you leave with dignity. When someone deliberately wounds you with contempt, manipulation, or passive aggression, they're declaring war on your spirit. But in Jung's view, your sober response, grounded in truth rather than retribution, is your ultimate power. His insight tells us that no amount of hatred can strip you of your inherent dignity. No betrayal can define your worth. Even if the harm was intentional, Jung's wisdom empowers us to reclaim recovery with will and purpose and to transcend the pain. When we choose not to repay evil with evil, but to respond with clarity and compassion, when we heal without letting the wound define us, and without becoming the person who once hurt us, we win a quiet, unexpected victory, one our opponent may not even realize they have lost. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. If you found today's content valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone who might need it.